Now, as all this is happening, you've got Medina, who's the company commander. He's sort of coming up from the rear, and he's starting to assess what he's seeing. Back to the book. While Medina might not have seen mass executions taking place, the evidence of his own eyes told him what everyone else could see, that some kind of massacre had occurred. In fact, it was worse than a massacre. Too many of Medina's men were taking sordid pleasure in sadistic behavior. Several became double veterans, GI slang for the dubious honor of raping a woman and then murdering her. Many women were raped and sodomized, mutilated, and had their vaginas ripped open with knives or bayonets. One woman was killed when the muzzle of a rifle barrel was inserted into her vagina and the trigger was pulled. Soldiers repeatedly stabbed their victims, cut off limbs, sometimes beheaded them. Some were scalped, others had their tongues cut out or their throats slit, or both. Tommy Lee Moss saw Vietnamese place their hands together and bow to greet Americans, only to be beaten with fists and tortured, clubbed with rifles, and stabbed in the back with bayonets. Martin Fagan saw bodies which had been shot in the head at point-blank range. He could tell because the penetration of an M16 round created a shock wave inside the skull, forcing the brain completely out. Other victims were mutilated with the signature C Company, or the shape of an ace of spades carved into the chest. Fagan figured this had been done as a warning to the superstitious Vietnamese. It was widely believed that they regarded the ace of spades as a sign of bad luck. Troops from all three platoons carried out wanton and mindless acts of brutality. The 2nd platoon were already amongst the most notorious rapists in Charlie Company. Even the platoon commander joined in on occasions. Roshevitz forced the women to undress with the intention of having sex with all of them. If they didn't strip, he said he was going to shoot them. He singled out one woman, telling her to boom boom him. She became hysterical, and the other women panicked, yelling and screaming and begging for mercy. Roshevitz decided to let them have it. He fired several rounds and killed them all.